certainly the one who did join the forces first. That gives you a certain privilege. You will get the first piece of this cake, and the rest of you, just have to wait. He will sit and enjoy this cake. When Jamal speaks about his stories in the Navy, he will enjoy the cake, and you just sit there and wait, because it's not your turn. If you would like to be the winner of that special competition, you just have to keep coming back. I'm Swedish, Viking descent. I shouldn't handle knives too much because we looked a bit a different way. But I'm certain that Maria can do it because she's an expert. She will cut the first piece, and I will serve it to you. And you're certainly the only one I will serve during this cruise, because that's what I'm doing job. But remember, be proud of what you've done. Be proud that you belong to those who made that commitment once upon a time for whatever reasons. But to stand up for what's right, protecting others, that is something to be proud of every day when you look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Because most people didn't do that. I'm a lousy waiter, still it's going to be yours. Thank you so much. Jamal will speak without microphone because he refused to use it, and I will leave together with the rest because he do not want to share his experiences here with us because he would reveal too much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You still hear me, so I'm just going to be nice. Can you hear me in the back? Raise your hand. Can you hear me in the back?
Yeah.
Okay, I got to use my big boy voice because this morning I put on my big boy pants. So I'm going to talk to you all for just a little bit about what's going on here today. I'm going to share a couple stories if that's okay with y'all. Yeah. All right. So, my name is Jamal Zawawi. I'm the security officer on board, a United States Navy veteran. Woo!
Woo!
If you don't meet me throughout this cruise, that means you have a pretty good cruise. If you do meet me, I'm going to try to be as nice as I can, but the cruise is not going to be all that great. So try and behave yourselves. Please. So I served in the United States Navy from 85 to 89, and I like to refer to my service as the penultimate service, and all of y'all the lesser services, but let's see who we got here, okay? Who here is representing the United States Army?
Yay!
How many folks there? That's about equal on the sound of that. How about Air Force? Air Force here. We've got a good Air Force contingent, and at this point, I feel on behalf of NCL, I have to apologize to our Air Force brothers and sisters because honestly, you are used to a level of room service that is.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
We're only a world-class cruise ship. We can only do so much. All right. Coast Guard, Semper Paratus, where are you at? Anybody? And nobody from Canada? And that's everybody, right? No.
No Coast Guard.
Missed somebody, did I?
Space Force. No, Space Force. Oh, yeah, there's there's one of Space Force in there. Please.
Because we do have some devil dogs in the house, you know?
Marine Coast Guard.
Who doesn't love the Marine Corps? I'll tell you what, I read some on the internet that our enemies don't love the Marine Corps. There is a country that their army was in fear, so in fear of the Marine Corps because they believe that in order to become a United States Marine, you have to murder a member of your family. That not psychological advantage. They don't even hit boots on the ground. They think that you're a throat-cutting, bloodthirsty. So, I did 4 years of service, okay?
Wow.
And, oh, goodness gracious. I'm a little lost today. I got some bad news from home about a former friend of mine, but please bear with me while I do this, okay? The reason that we're here is to say thank you to all of y'all. And I am proud to be a member of this corporation because, like I said, by veterans for veterans. The CEO of this company is a David Herrera. He's a former Special Forces Army, I believe.
Wow.
And the chief security officer of this company is Matt Lewis, and he's a retired Navy SEAL. So I like to say my boss can kick your boss's butt. But I was proud to find out that they do this program. And honestly, when the first time that we started this, I got voluntold because honestly I'm the only U.S. Navy veteran that I believe is on this ship. So you know when you get voluntold to do something, you do it what? Happily or just kind of grudgingly? Not really. kind of drag your feet. Yeah, okay, I'll do it. And the first couple times we did this, it was a really small event. One time we had 3 people in a room. And it was me talking to 3 people. It was, a little close for comfort. But it has blossomed into this, and this is, I love to see this, because we're saying thank you for your service. And I know y'all didn't do your service to get the thank yous, but the thank you is nice to get, is it not? Okay? A lot of you guys before me, especially I see a lot of Vietnam era folks here, you didn't get any thanks for your service. You got quite the opposite. Okay? And when I left my service, I didn't get thanks while I was there, but I went into law enforcement, and you certainly don't get a whole lot of thanks in law enforcement. Right about that? Yeah, sure. So getting a thanks is kind of nice, and public opinion kind of swings like a pendulum. People don't really realize that it's nice to say thank you until something happens. You know, so 9/11 reminds people that, hey, we need to be thankful of the protections that we have. And the protection that we have comes from folks like you. You are all a little bit different, a little bit special. Okay, the recruiting door was open to everybody, but only y'all walk through it. And so that makes you a different breed. And even the people that, as y'all are coming in and we're greeting you, some of the people will talk to me and they'll say, "Oh, that guy, I know that guy's here, or that lady's here from the military." And I say, "Why?" It's because they're just different. You can tell. They walk different. They carry themselves differently. They're just a different breed. And so when I come here, as opposed to the first time when I come grudgingly, I come here and I feel like I'm with my people now. And I can tell some stories to my people that I can't tell around the captain. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So can I tell a story to y'all?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to take up a whole lot of your time. My Master Chief used to say, in his own special way, that there are certain immutable truths in this world. Immutable just means unchanging, never to be shaken. And the way he would say it is, he would say, "Z, this is a no-shitter." That's Master Chief talk for this is an immutable truth. So he'd say, "This is a no-shitter." And that was my cue to pipe up and listen and figure out that what he's saying is absolutely true. And I pointed out a little bit earlier that we've got different branches of services here, yeah? There's our service, and there's everyone else's service. Right? It wasn't until I left my service and went into law enforcement that I started to recognize the difference between services. I served in Santa Rosa County, Florida, which is next to Pensacola, which is an area that is very highly military based. There's NAS Pensacola, we've got Eglin Air Force Base, and we have NAS Whiting Field in my county where they train helicopter pilots. And so, as a young deputy, and I later became a sergeant, one of the things that you do in law enforcement to be visible in your community, let them know that you're out there protecting them, is traffic enforcement, okay? Because traffic enforcement means you get to turn on the lights and sirens and everything, and everybody looks, and everybody feels better, everybody's glad that they're not the one getting pulled over. They think that their tax money is being spent well. So, I patrolled an area called Baghdad, Florida, which is right off the interstate between Pensacola and Eglin, and I knew that all of the fly boys or fly girls, the pilot trainees, would be coming off the interstate to get up Highway 87 to go to Whiting Field. And I knew that they were going to be late, because they're always late. Okay? Because that's a no-shitter. They're always late. Anybody offended by me saying no shitter? That's about the only bad word I'll say. Okay. So I realized that in order to, make the public happy, I could spend a lot of time doing traffic enforcement on these military folks who were speeding through Baghdad, Florida, which, by the way, is in front of a school zone, which everybody wants traffic enforcement in front of the school zones, right? So there I am, just picking them off every day. Okay? Now, my personal policy in law enforcement is that if you're wearing the uniform of my country, I'm not writing you a ticket. Okay? As long as you're not robbing a bank or don't have active warrants, you got a valid driver's license, you got to meet a few basic criteria. But if you're wearing the uniform, I'm not giving you a ticket. I've already made up my mind. Okay? And that's a big break sometimes. In the school zone, it can be as much as a $500 ticket break. So in exchange for that break, I get to extract an equivalent amount of verbal abuse. Is that fair? Yeah. Now, my man, what branch service we grip? Okay. Let's say my man here comes through. What's your name? Dante. Dante is late for work at his helicopter pilot's training job. He's got to get there, or else he'll get some kind of OJT or discipline or something back there. So he's doing about 60 through a 15-mile-an-hour speed zone. Hits that red light, does a little California roll, and he comes up to me. Okay? And I pick him off and I pull him over. And we do two approaches. The first approach is where we introduce ourselves. So I'm Sergeant Zawawi, San Francisco County Sheriff's Office. You're a fine military man, but you were speeding, okay? And I'm gonna have to do some things here. And I get his driver's license, his information. As politely as I can, I let him know, hey, something bad's about to happen. Okay? So I go and I come back and make sure he wasn't fleeing that bank robbery, and make sure he didn't have active warrants, he's got a valid driver's license. And then I get to come back and do my second approach, which is where I get to have my fun. Okay? And I go up and I say, okay, sir, Dante, here's the deal, man. It's a $550 ticket, man. Oh my goodness. And I know you're a young military officer. You got family to support. You got probably, who knows, child support or whatever's going on right now. you got a new car you got to pay for because you're a pilot. You think you got to have that Corvette and all that good stuff. I know you got a lot of money issues. I'm prepared to make you a deal. Okay? I will let you go if you can tell me one thing. Just like that, the big sigh. What's that one thing? I said, well, you gotta tell me, you wish you would have joined the Navy.
You got the ticket
I
anyway.
will endure your petty humiliation with Sergeant Zawawi, and then you can let me go. And that's what we do. And we good naturedly have this exchange. I let him know, hey, it's not cool to be speeding, there's kids and all this stuff. The public sees me just browbeating the mess out of this guy. Everybody's happy, right? He's happy he didn't get picked. I'm happy I'm being active in my community. I'm, doing all that good stuff, okay? And we part as friends and everything else, okay? Now the difference between services, okay? And almost everybody will do that. $550, God, I wish I would have joined you. Hey, Space Force. I wish I would have joined, whatever you want me to say, okay? Who's Marines here? What's your name, my man? Sorry? Keith. All right, pull Keith over. Same thing. Young military guy. He's got his job. He's probably my goodness, would it be an ensign or a lieutenant or something like that. He's got to get to work. Got to go learn how to fly his helicopter. He's got a young family. Is this your family ready? Okay. You got a young wife. You have to take care of. And he just finds out he's about to get a $550 chunk of her change because, let's face it, it's her money, right? And so I do my first approach, I explain it to him, and kind of, here it comes, my second approach. I said, all right, sir, I can let you go with a warning off this $550 ticket if you can tell me one thing. One thing. That's it. You got to play. What's that one thing, sir?
What's that, sir?
No. You got to ask the question.
What's that?
You have to tell me, sir, that you wish you would have joined the Air Force. Every time I pull over a Marine Corps officer and I tell him that, he will sit there, he will grip that steering wheel, he will clench his teeth, and little veins be popping out, and sweat be dripping, and he'll look at me and he'll say, "Write your ticket." That, ladies and gentlemen, is a no-shitter. I know you get this many military people in a room, and you mix a little bit of sugar, a little bit of alcohol, you're gonna have some fun stories of your own to tell, okay? Y'all have a great day, enjoy yourself, God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jamal. So now, folks, here we're going to be serving the cake soon. We have our restaurant team here, and just to let you know, I know you guys you took a picture right here in the flag. All those pictures that you have taken will be delivered in your stateroom, so you don't need to collect them by the photo gallery, and it's complimentary. Okay, that's why they took your room number. It will be delivered in your stateroom. So yeah, once again, thank you very much for your service, and enjoy your cruise with us here on board the Norwegian Joy. Thank you.
Right.